Hello and welcome to the Next Gen Racing YouTube channel for our second episode of our Ante-Post series, which we're looking at sort of the Cheltenham Ante-Post and building a nice portfolio moving towards the big festival in March. And from episode one, we have had some result, Jack. I mean, Phildawg's come out and won the Betfair Chase. You put this horse up at 8-1, now sitting as the 7-2 favourite. Nube Negra, 10-1 currently for the Champion Chase. Jack, you put the horse up at 25-1. Buzz, winner of the Coral Hurdle the weekend just gone, now 8-1 for the stayers. You put the horse up at 20s. Fakir Dudary's moved from 10s into 14s. That was an impressive performance a couple of weeks ago. I put that horse up, and Mr. Glass been backed into 33-1 in some places from 66-1 for the Ballymore. What's more impressive is the fact that all five horses that we put up have come out and won their opening race of the season.
Who would have thought, eh? Who would have thought?
I did not expect that, but Jack and I have got two more selections each that are going to go up for the festival. And Jack, I will start with you for this episode.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to go for probably my strongest one to start off with. And it could be one of my favourite Ante-Post selections so far. It's going to be Nurse Susan in the Mares Novice Hurdle at 20-1 at the moment. I know 20-1 is only available with Sky Bet. 18s and 16s is readily available. I'm a big fan of Nurse Susan. She won really strongly at Carlisle on debut. Now, Dan Skelton said they were expecting a big run from her, but my word, she jumped so nicely for her first time over hurdles. She came four wide throughout, travelled like a dream. When Harry asked for something, her response was magnificent. She came over the last with Hidor de Bercy, who won a bumper last year on her sole start and put 7 lengths between them both from the last to the line in good style up the hill there at Carlisle. And I think her response there, he didn't need to use the whip in the end, and they put 17 lengths between Hidor de Bercy in third as well. I mean, as I say, the closing sections were quite impressive. I think the last half mile was the fastest on the day out of any race, and I think the time was overall quite impressive. Dan Skelton's come out and said she couldn't have been any more impressive, and the Mares Novice Hurdle was going to be the plan, and hopefully then give her a run at Cheltenham either on New Year's Day or in December. So I think Nurse Susan at 20-1 for the Mares Novice Hurdle is going to be my first pick for this episode.
You just love the Skeltons at the moment. You really
I can't get away. I can't get away.
You just say he's a beautiful man almost every episode. So there we go. I'm going to put one out. I'm going to take you on with Buzz in the Stayers Hurdle here. As a horse, I might regret putting this up. A horse I actually fancied for the race last year, and that was Ronald Pump, who unfortunately got injured last season. Now, Ronald Pump, second in the Stayers Hurdle back in 2020, putting a decent run then. And we've got to remember that last year we saw this horse finishing second behind Honeysuckle, and that was in the Hatton's Grace. Now, I think a few people on Twitter, I think Racing Willow was actually one of them that put it up. You do follow him, saying that if Honeysuckle is to get beaten this season, it might be in the Hatton's Grace. That's sort of the race that she's probably going to be most vulnerable in all season. Now, we saw Ronald Pump absolutely fly home in this race back in 2020, and since that injury, the horse hasn't been at its best. Third in the Punchestown Champion Stayers Hurdle. That was Pine Classical Dream, and a bit disappointing out in France. Maybe they might have regretted giving the horse, a run too soon after injury. The horse had a nice, fresh break, and I'm hoping that we see the best from this horse again in the same race. I'm sure that will be the plan. I'd like to see this horse staying on and flying home. The horse won't have to win, in my opinion, to have a chance. But I do think the Stayers Hurdle at the moment is a fairly weak division. I need to see Time Hill come out after the O'Toy run and prove that he's as good as he was. And Paisley Park could still step up, and we'll probably see that horse in the Long Walk Hurdle this weekend. So it will be fascinating to see. But I think Ronald Pump in a weak division, 25-1 currently for the Stayers. I'm going to be with that horse there. Now, Jack, on to your second horse.
Well, I mean, we've had two biggish price selections, and I'm going to put up one that I've seen a few people put up, and I think the price is nearly gone. And that's Phildawg at 8-1 for the Triumph. Now, I've seen a few people have put him up, but he was available even after the race at 14s, 12s, 10s. I know he's only 8-1 now, but I was so impressed. I think that jumping performance at Downwall was the best juvenile performance, jumping-wise, I've seen in many a year. I think he looked so much more mature than he actually was. And I mean, when asked, he put a really good last sectional in as well. And I think, goodness me, considering Quilixios went there last year, it'd be interesting to see where he goes from here. I think he's going to go. He's coming out soon in graded company as well. I think he's going to go on from strength to strength. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does. Of course, it's the Triumph, so a juvenile could come out from under the works at Willie Mullins or whatnot. But I think 8-1 still isn't the worst each way price in the world. So I think Phildawg for the Triumph 8-1 is going to be my second pick.
There we go. Yeah, it does look very impressive, Phildawg. And, you know, don't worry, we've still got Gary Moore juveniles to come. Porticello could still prove to be pretty impressive, but it's got to do a lot, I think, to beat this Phildawg. Looked very impressive, like Jack said, and the jumping was exquisite that day. So, yeah, it'd be an interesting one. The price has gone slightly, but still at a fair price, I think, for the Triumph Hurdle. My second horse is going to be a horse I actually think could run a huge race. And the news has only recently come today that this horse can be stepped up in trip. And I won't be giving up. I think a lot of people have given up with this horse after running in Schleer, but I'm not giving up with Put the Kettle on. I really wouldn't. Look, the horse has now had 5 runs at Cheltenham, won 4 of them, including an Arkle and a champion chase. And look, the horse was disappointing potentially in the Schleer behind Nube Negra, but you know, didn't jump too well, but did finish fairly strongly. And it'd be interesting to see this horse stepped up in trip. I think there's a race on New Year's Day that they're going to look to go to. It's a mare's chase there. The horse is going to be up against, you know, her own sex here. That's the best thing. And I think the mare's chase will be the likely option. I don't think they'll go down the Ryanair route with her. I'm not sure that you know, it's worth it with horses like Allaho and you know, Fakir Dudari in that market. I don't think she's quite as good as those, but I do think if she went in with the mare, she'd have a right chance. And I just think it's far too soon to be giving up with her. I think she's around 12 to 1 now. I think before that post came out, she's around 16s, but a little bit of money's come for the horse since that's been announced. I don't think she has to win, actually, on New Year's Day to prove that she's that good. We know that Cheltenham is somewhat her home ground, and I think that she could run a massive race when it gets to the festival, but I'd love to see what she's like stepped up in trip. So there we go. Put the Kettle on. That is around 12 to 1 for the mare's chase at Cheltenham. So 2 selections each for our Ante-Post portfolio. Hopefully, you know, they'll continue on from where we left off from episode 1. We're actually going to be back with you guys on Friday morning, where we're going to be previewing Newbury, an excellent weekend at Newbury, and also Newcastle, where we have the Fighting Fifth, the Ladbrokes Trophy, and the Fighting Fifth, the 2 highlights this weekend. Jack and I are really looking forward to getting stuck into those. So hopefully, do subscribe to the channel, because we're loving the support. These videos are getting plenty of support as well, and we will continue this series. I think it'll be around 5 episodes we'll have up before the festival. Like I say, it comes every 4 weeks. So, yeah, looking forward to the big one in March. I know there's plenty more good action to come. Jack and I are going to be at the Tingle Creek next weekend as well, and hopefully you'll see a great picture of us, hopefully with a winner's face on, like we did on Champions Day. That was the last time we were at a race meeting together, Jack, so hopefully we can find a winner.
Fingers crossed.
We can find a winner on Tingle Creek weekend. But yeah, like I say, keep the sport coming, and we will see you on Friday morning. Thanks for watching.